Hi there, everybody. Welcome to 8dates weekly update webinar about our product. Hi, David.
Hey,
I'm
thanks for
Michael
joining. How's it going?
Casey. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm with my other co-founder, David Huber, who is currently the brains and the beauty behind this amazing product that we built, and it's a beautiful
Thanks, buddy.
product, David. So I'm so excited that we get a chance to share it with everybody and let everyone know that's looking to invest with us. You know what an amazing tool and disruptive dating platform that we built to make it better for both men and women.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you want to add something, David, before we get started, feel free. But I'm gonna give you the floor today because
Cool.
you really do a beautiful job of explaining exactly what we built.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm really excited about this. This is an important mission, and I think this is a huge business opportunity. So, what's next in dating? What's the future of dating? What happens after you match? That's really what we're all about here. And I want to start and open with a story that we have heard over and over and is a real story from many women that we know personally. And it goes a little bit like this. Let me advance the slide here. We want you to meet Maria. She's a 36-year-old. She lives in Birmingham, England, and she has a wonderful son named Thomas. She's on dating apps and she's swiping and swiping. And after hours and hours, she finally gets a match and she's pretty excited about it. She gets ready to go out to dinner. She has to pick out which outfit. She's spending hours getting ready, hits the traffic, gets all the way to the restaurant, puts in a lot of work. The place isn't as nice as she had hoped, kind of dingy, but he picked it. So she went, looks across the way, and can barely even recognize the guy. He's way older than he looked in his photos. And she ends up having a pretty terrible night again. This happens often. She goes home, puts Thomas to bed, and thinks, you know what? Maybe dating's not for me. Maybe I should just stay single. And there are millions of Marias all over Europe alone. And this is a huge problem for people. This is an emotional turmoil that really dampens their life. And finding love and romance has gotten even more complicated, even with all the tools that we have. And we'll tell you why. So, if you want to be successful, solve an important problem. We think this is absolutely an important problem. You could put your money in so many different avenues, but one that brings people together and helps them find lasting, meaningful romantic relationships is huge. And you might think, well, isn't that problem already solved? I mean, there are already successful dating apps out there. But no, there's a huge problem that they're overlooking and has to do with their business model. We're on a mission to create lasting romantic relationships. That's fantastic. What a great legacy to work on and to leave behind. But is this a good business investment? Okay, so maybe you're sold on, bringing people together is a cool and worthwhile thing to do emotionally, psychologically. How cool is that to be able to tell your friends that you're helping people come together and find love? But look, we've got to make money as well. Let's talk about that too. Looking at the index of technology stocks, obviously outperforming the S&P. Software is eating the world. Anderson and Horowitz have famously said, the famous VC investment firm in California. And data is the new oil. We've heard that before. Google, Facebook, Amazon, they all have a tremendous amount of data on people. And that's why we're really excited about the space, because it's software, and it's a software that's in a space that has purview to very useful data, both for our customers and for the business. And rarely can you get to know somebody's dietary preferences, their entertainment preferences, their consumer preferences. That's part and parcel of the job to be done for these couples after they match. And it's the most valuable resource in the world. So dating has a huge opportunity on the table after you match, extending that service beyond just throwing people in a chat room. And we'll tell you more about that. Thinking about all of these customers, what is their job to be done? Do they want to be thrown in a chat room? If you've ever used a dating app, that's where the service ends. When you match with somebody, they say, great, you figure it out from here, or keep trying to match with people. And it's a never ending casino where you buy tokens to boost yourself. And, it's a gambling lottery, and that's their business model. What's the customer's real job to be done? It's not just to match with somebody. And again, that's all of the service that they provide. It's what happens beyond that. It is to match with somebody, but then it's also to go on dates, to have those dates go well, even after the dating, to have that relationship go well. This is a long service design model, right? I have a service design background. That's what we think about is everything throughout that journey. The only it's the beginning stage of this journey has been serviced, and there's so much data sitting there waiting, and so many customers who are unhappy because dating apps are not fulfilling the real job to be done. Does Bumble want to keep you single? Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, you're no longer a customer, and that's a huge problem for them. And it's actually a huge opportunity because there's so much value being left on the table, especially if they're capturing the right type of data that delivers on that job to be done. And guess what? Good news. Bumble just raised $2.2 billion in their US IPO. So they're based in Austin, Texas. That's where we are started. Now we're in the UK, but we've got connections with them. We're really excited about the opportunity to potentially partner or even be acquired by them because we think we're filling the space and the void in the next generation of dating apps. So Bumble absolutely wants to keep you single. So what's our solution? Well, we are all about romance based on what people are interested in. You can see here coffee, tea, wine, happy hour, juice, early mornings. People like different things and being able to bond over those things. Are you into late nights or maybe you're into health and wellness or early mornings? That plays a huge role in your relationship and everywhere throughout the user experience and the user interface. We have that in here. So you might see someone's profile photo here. This is someone's profile example and what they're interested in doing. And you can heart that. You could see what you two would be matched on, what kind of dates we would recommend. And that's already built in and integrated. You can get really smart with that with machine learning and AI. We have our sites on that, but you can also just do it with a simple matching algorithm. We match our categories here with what's in Eventbrite. And this thing is already chugging along. Something that we've tested with women that they absolutely love is, and again, our target audience are single moms. We have to know our early adopters and crush it with them. Bumble, Tinder, we can't compete with 18 to 24. That casino, that's entertainment. I mean, that's like TikTok. That's what those apps are for them. But for women who have a job to be done and older and men as well, who really want to find romance, who don't just want to be swiping, this is what this experience is for. And that those are our early adopters. So because of that, we have a phone call that's required before we unveil the date recommendations. And women love that because they don't want to waste time. So many of them, like we saw with Maria in the beginning, go to coffee, go to dinner, 3 hours get wasted. If they wish had a phone call with this guy, they could have tested their chemistry a lot sooner. So that's
That's a
us
great
aligning with the
point,
customer.
Dave. Great.
Yeah.
That's really the key feature, I think, of the front end of this product journey, consumer journey, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And so that's all about this job to be done because we have their best interest in mind. We're helping them along their journey, and we're able to do that because we don't have to just make money on this casino of coins and tokens to boost yourself, which is what all the
Mhm.
other ones do. We make money when they go on events they're excited about. She, matches with this guy and Jack, and they're on their third date, and they decide to book tickets to Jaws on the Water because we know they're both into movies. Um, and we get 20% of that through Eventbrite, an affiliate revenue model that aligns our business model with their interests. So we're interested in helping people go on great romantic experiences and having fun. And the good news is that continues to be of value even after they're no longer single. So our customer lifetime value is exponentially larger than Bumble, Tinder, all the other dating apps, which is huge, right? And that also means eventually our total addressable market is much larger because we've had so many couples and married couples that we've shown this to say, "Hey, could we get on that?" So this is a huge opportunity to uh, be a major player in the tech space and know exactly how to enter that market. If you remember Facebook, they didn't start by being everything for everybody. It was basically hot or not for people at Harvard, and then it became a social media for people in college. You had to show what college you were in. So knowing how to enter the market is huge, and this right here is the tip of the spear.
Well, that was great, David. I'd like to if I could, just on that last slide, go into a little bit on the revenue side of this, because after all, this
Yeah.
presentation's for investors. So how do we make money?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
David comes from the journey design background. I come from the affiliate marketing background. And what we've done, and I think we've done it brilliantly. And I've, you know, I run a course, the Billion Dollar Product e-course, because I've created several billion-dollar products in my past. I believe this is another one that I have. This is going to put me over 4 billion in products sold. So you can
Yep.
look me up on LinkedIn to learn more about me. Um, but this product is what I believe a revenue model that no one's ever seen in the dating space. Well, we know that it doesn't
Yeah.
exist, but it's going to
Yep.
revolutionize how dating apps profit from couples finding what they want, happiness, and doing it in a way where we're not taking the money out of the pockets of our couples. We're actually taking it from our partners who want the couples to come to their events and
Yes.
activities.
Yes.
And I come from a world where when somebody calls in to buy some of my exercise machines that I would sell them vitamins and a fitness vacation.
Yep.
And I when we looked at the dating space, David and I, we were both on different apps, we were like, well, they're not servicing me the way I want to be serviced. So
Yeah.
I created with David this model that allows American Airlines, British Airways, B&B Association of South London to give our couples special programs, rates, and deals for the weekend getaways, car rentals, restaurants, and give them a reason to come to their venue by giving them discounts and special purchasing options. And also, what we wanted to do was create a way for the newly matched singles not to have to go into other apps to find what each one liked. Now at the bottom of a lot of the dating apps, they have your Instagram feed. So what that requires me to do is look at a potential partner's Instagram feed and kind of guess what she wants to do by pictures that she has. Well, I don't know. Is that a
Uh-huh.
horse farm she's on? Does she like riding horses? So I'm making
Yeah.
these guesses. And then when I talk to her, I'm bringing up stuff and she doesn't remember that she posted the picture on the horse farm. And she's like, why is this guy talking to me about horses? So we took the guesswork out of that. Now we're going to say
Yes.
right under, if you look at Lola's slide, the second screen over, you could go right to left and just see everything that she wants to do. And if she likes riding horses, that's going to be on there because there's going to probably be an event, some type of polo or something that weekend that she's going to be attending that you're going to see. So we wanted to give you everything that Lola likes to do and know that I wasn't really sure about Lola when I first looked, but boy, she likes Soul Cycle and she likes spinning and she loves outdoor festivals on Sunday. That's my favorite time to go, to East London and walk around at the farmers market. You're going to be
Yeah.
able to know that and not guess it. And then when you serve those up, what happens is we try to make the partner, the other half of this new single combination, whether it be girl, girl, boy, 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 girl, we don't care. But the other half looks pretty smart because we're going to serve up, Lola's going to get served up some ideas and she's going to, boy, this person really knows me. And and
Yeah.
and they do. They know enough about you to serve you up ideas that are going to make you happy. And the revenue from that will come from later in the dates. At the beginning, we just want to make sure that you guys like each other, you know which direction you're going, and then you could start to book with our partners. And the later the dates go, the better the recommendations get and the more profitable it becomes for 8 dates because you start to go on, maybe you're on the seventh or eighth date, you're going to do that getaway and that's 3 night stay with the first night free and we're getting in some cases we're getting 20%
Yeah.
revenue back from our affiliates, 8% when you book a ticket to go to Portugal for the weekend. And when you stay on the app, and this is something that David touched on earlier in his presentation, where's it Bumble and the guys when you're on your 10th day, they're nowhere to be found, you're off their app.
Yeah.
We're with you. We're telling you what to do, and you could stay with us all the way to marriage. And we have spoken with some marriage affiliates, wedding venues and caterers, and eventually we're going to marry the couples that meet on 8 dates, and we want to be part of the entire journey. And you don't have to get off our platform. once you're on it. And we talked about once we get the flow working and the app functioning properly, it's kind of like a soft opening. I would call it like a restaurant before you start advertising. We will
Yeah.
have a married couple portal. So if you want to, maybe spark the romance up, put your partner into the 8 dates flow. Imagine a married woman at work getting a push notification. Your husband just signed you up for 8 amazing dates. If that
Yeah.
doesn't make you smile, because you guys do the same thing all the time.
Yep.
I, you know, I'm in a relationship. I get it. You get in ruts, and you have to decide. If somebody's tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Hey, you should try this. She really likes this." It's nice to be reminded sometime. What your partner likes and wants.
Yeah.
So the growth plan for the app from a revenue standpoint is married people and just couples, get out of the single swipe feed and just use our recommendations. And as we grow, our discounts will be better at the vendors because we'll have a bigger crowd to come in. So when we call British Airways and say, we have hundreds of thousands of people now that want to go away for the weekend, we're going to probably get a better deal than when we call and say, hey, we'd like you to be our partner, and we don't have anybody yet. So as we grow, the discounts will grow, the better offers will grow. And right now, we're fortunate to be using a lot of API plugins, and people in tech and not in tech. API plugins are the way apps talk to each other, and we bring all the Eventbrite, OpenTable, Google Maps. We plug all those into our app. So our app is actually a super transactional app that has all the
Hmm.
data from all the other apps.
Yep.
5 years ago, 7 years ago, you couldn't build the product that we're sitting here presenting to you today. And
Right.
I get a question asked all the time, David, why aren't the other guys doing it? And I always go
Hmm.
back, and I did this in my TED talk. They told Elon Musk, why aren't the other guys building electric cars? You're never going to be able to
Yeah.
compete. And now he's the leader. So
Yeah.
other guys can do it, but they'd have to tear down what they have, which is the
Cash
case of
cow.
General Motors and Fiat, and start from
Yep.
scratch. And they hadn't been able to do that successfully. We started from scratch going in this direction, much like
Yep.
Tesla.
They've got a cash cow in their hands, and it's self cannibalization, right? I mean,
Right.
who would want to stop all that money pouring in to try something risky, which is why they love acquisitions. This is a great acquisition for Bumble or Match.com to de-risk their old position in the market, which they've had for so long. Innovation is bound to come up, and they're not able to do it internally, so they'd like to acquire something, I think.
Yeah, and I remember, David, you said to somebody once, in one of our meetings, the investors, you said, well, we basically took Google Maps and put it on top of Match.com and Bumble.
Mm,
So we
mm-hmm.
built two apps, combined them into one.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite the undertaking building this product, but hard work pays off when you get it right, and we believe that we really built something that will be sensational, when it
Absolutely.
launches.
Absolutely. I mean, with software, it's tough when we use it. We maybe don't see that every screen, every cul-de-sac, every street, throughout the software information architecture has been designed. And that's what we've had to do here. We've worked with our development team to make sure that every touch point is taken care of and every part of the user experience is exceptional, especially with that onboarding, because you can have a great concept, but if the initial experience for the user is not clear, has not been thought through, has not been tested, they go, yeah, it's buggy. I don't trust it, right? We're all about trust. And to be trustful, you have to be consistent and you have to be solid. And that's what we've got here. I mean, every part of this experience has been intentionally designed, which is huge for entering the market.
Well, this is great. The app looks beautiful, David. I know we're anxious to launch post COVID. Our plan is to come out in some of the major cities in the United Kingdom, and then
Hmm.
head into parts of Ireland, Southern Europe, and then we're definitely launching in the United States as well.
Yeah.
Probably a few months after the UK launch,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we built a product. We're so excited to we've been slowed down by the lockdown in most of the world, but that's okay. It gave us time to fine tune our product and to get our messaging in place. And
Yeah.
I know that our partner affiliates, the restaurants and the event centers and the movie theaters and concert halls, are going to be so anxious to have our couples come to their event because they've also been in
Yeah.
lockdown as well. So, but we,
Perfect post-COVID app, right? I mean, in some
yeah,
ways, COVID slowed us down, but in some ways, this is perfect for getting back out there. I mean, what are people on Bumble and Tinder going to do? Like you said, you're gonna have to look at their Instagram feed and say, "Hey, how about this?" They go, "Well, I don't really like that," or "Actually, I'm a vegetarian," and all of a sudden, you get stuck in logistics. Don't worry about that. We're here to help solve that.
beautiful. And we don't, if anybody has any questions at all, feel free, send them to me. David and I will answer them. It's Michael at 8dates, and it's the number 8dates.com. And you can see our website up there. But feel free to reach out to me, whether on the Cedars crowdfunding board, or you could just email me directly. We'll schedule a Zoom call. I could take you through, and as David can as well, through the app. We're doing a flyover of it now because we only want to keep you under 30 minutes.
Hmm.
But what a personal tour of the app is, I love doing it because I like showing what we
Yeah.
built, and I think we
Yeah.
have something exciting, and I think potential investors will see that too. And coming off
Yeah.
of our neighbors app down the street here, Bumble in Austin. I'm in Austin. David's in up north in Indiana right now, but we built this here in Austin, and we really feel confident that Bumble, with their fresh, 2.2 billion in capital, we're a great acquisition target for them post
Yep.
launch. So because we built something that nobody else has, and exclusivity is why these things are successful. So
Yeah.
on that note, David, I think, do you have any last words to say to the investors watching?
Chance of a lifetime. I think this space is huge. It's been a while since there's been innovation in it, and from a business perspective and from just an emotional and spiritual perspective, I want to be part of a team where people come up and say, "Oh my God, we got married and met on 8 dates, and we're still using it. We had the best time last weekend." The fact that we can be in a space where we can have that type of impact on people's lives and hopefully make this $1 billion product, the fourth one in Michael's books. Um, I'm all about it, man. This is huge.
Great, David. Well, thanks again for all your hard work and um, great presentation. And feel free. I'll look for questions on email, and we'll be up next week again with our final flyover for the app. We might go in depth in some of the technical issues next
Yeah.
Tuesday, but we just want to say thanks to everybody, and the 120 people that have already invested in us on Cedars. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you seeing the vision, and we're really looking forward to building some value in the app.
Yeah.
Thanks, David.
Awesome.